So welcome back guys to the channel. Today I'll be sharing how to ride motorcycles on Kenyan roads. The reason I've chosen this topic is because I've lost bikers who are close to me, and the worst part is we keep on losing bikers, especially beginners, because they don't know how to ride on these public roads. The first thing that you need to put into consideration is training. And I don't mean the normal boda training hapo mtaani. I mean go to an advanced riding school. The second thing is you need to be compliant. You need to have an active driving license, meaning already ushafanya exam ya NTSA. Then you need an insurance cover for your bike. Then the next thing you need is gear. I mean your helmet, I mean your gloves, knee guards, and boots. Now that you have checked training, compliance, and gear, the next thing you need once you start riding ni kujua how to apply the Traffic Act. The law states keep left unless overtaking. So kwa lane unafaa ukeep left. So if barabara ni ya lane tatu, unafaa ukue the extreme left, ile ya mwisho, unless there's a car yenye iko hiyo lane and wezi that time, then unaweza pitia ya katikati or the other lane. The second thing you need to understand is riding position. So tuseme umeingia hiyo lane ya left, what position are you supposed kuendesha? You are supposed to maintain at the center of the lane. And you can see in my video, like nime maintain katikati because gari yoyote yenye inakuja kutoka nyuma cannot overtake you ukiwa katikati. But if you are on the extreme left kwa lane, utakuta inajifinyilia between wewe na oncoming car. You'll see that pale kwa section ya Kinari, where wase wa bodaboda walikuwa wanaendesha kwa kando ya barabara. Eventually, if a car ingie katikati yenu, it will throw you kwa shoulder ya barabara. So always keep at the center of the lane ukiendesha motorcycle. So in this section you'll notice tumetoka kwa highway, now tumejoin a single lane barabara, and the same rules applies. So lazima uendeshe bike yako katikati ya barabara. No compromising on that. So majority of the Kenyan roads you'll find most drivers, they don't observe Traffic Act. You have to keep left unless overtaking. So you'll have to be very attentive of what's happening in your surroundings, such that you know how to make decisions on the go. So I'm riding to Naivasha, and then I divert after Daramea to the Great Rift Valley Lodge road, and it's very scenic. And apart from being scenic, you will get to learn how to ride on different terrains. So you'll find how to make decisions when you're riding off-road, kwa mara, and also on sand, and also how to make decision making ukifika hizo small centers uko mashinani. So all that you learn in this video.
Aina mudhuri. Ni yeo.
Also, don't miss out having fun along the way. Nikifikanga hapa Kijabe, I normally have roasted maize, and I have to listen to these guys. They are so interesting. So have fun. His section is very dangerous sana, is where I lost a friend of mine. Rest in peace, Engineer Leonard. He was hit along his section, and the reason why it's dangerous is because it's very foggy in the morning and also during rainy season, and also on the shoulder is uneven, so one wrong move you'll crash. So this section, for you to make it to the other side, first of all you have to make sure that you are visible, like your lights are on at all times. Make sure mata zako ziko on, so whichever the bike you are riding, mata zikuwe on. The second thing is, if you are not skilled enough, tafuta gari tunaitanga chase car. Hii ni gari yenye itaenda ahead of you, yenye unaweza keep up na pace yake, that will shield you from oncoming cars. So usiende tu for the sake uende, make sure you are shielded from the front. Hii section imekuwa kwa bucket list yangu so many times. I've been passing here. I've always wanted to ride inside Kenyan Forest, and so I seized the moment and nikasema why not. It's early in the morning, the fog imejaa kwa miti, and this is the best time even to take some shots of the amazing place. So from this section of Kenare all the way to Kenongi, you'll find the fog is always constant, and my riding decision was to find hiyo Nissan iko mbele yangu as a chase car. I'm also maintaining a very safe distance such that I can make an emergency stop in case yeye afanye anything yenye haiko right. You'll also notice I hoot just to make sure amenisikia, because sometimes they don't see you, especially kukiwa na fog. So make sure you are visible and also you are heard. Also kwa shopping centers, you'll notice I'm slowing down, who's crossing to the other side of the road. Unfortunately, the road is not marked, so it doesn't have zebra crossings, and so as a rider you have to be careful when you're approaching small city centers. You slow down for the sake of guys who are crossing from one side to the other side. So hii section ya Kinongi ukiteremka, there's two climbing lanes, and I see especially drivers that they overtake recklessly. So remember, priority ya hii section ni gari zenye zinapanda hii mlima, not you ukiteremka. So always make sure ukianza overtaking hakuna oncoming vehicle inakam. And then if you meet a fellow biker, msalimie, because biking is family. So his section is where you learn the most, because as you can see, we have some reckless drivers wenye wameamua ku maintain on my lane here, making multiple decisions at the same time. The first decision is to slow down, and the second decision is I'm calculating speed yenye umse anakuja nayo towards my side. The third thing I'm calculating is where is my escape route, that in the event mtu anifikie. So the shoulder is the most safest spot for me, and then I join back the highway. You'll notice these guys are very courageous, like they don't go back to their lanes. So I've seen such scenarios, and especially if you're riding a sport bike, you must be extra careful, because ukiingia kwa shoulder with a sport bike you might crash. So know your bike. So in this section I'm also using a car as a shield, because this is a section which is prone to reckless drivers. So I'm using that car in front of me, and the secret is to keep up the pace but also the space. So in the event they do an emergency braking, you can also brake comfortably. The views are very breathtaking in these sections, Daramea and also in the Great Rift Valley Lodge section. So soak in the moment and enjoy riding. So I've diverted from the main highway and I've joined now the road to Great Rift Valley Lodge, and here decisions changes. You'll still use the Traffic Act, but for such roads you have to be very careful, because you might find kwa bend kuna msee anavuka barabara, there's an ongoing project happening, so you have to slow down your speed and be very careful, especially on the sharp bends. So know your bike and know its capabilities in terms of braking. Does it have ABS? Which kind of brakes does it have? Is it quality brakes like Brembo brakes? So jua capability ya bike yako and be very careful, especially kwa hizi back routes. Also, this is another skill you learn when you ride, especially long distance. You have to have moments where you take occasional breaks. These are breaks where you can hydrate, you can munch something, you can also check on your bike, pressure iko sawa, is everything and working perfectly. So those breaks are very important, and also for you to have a moment of refresh and have fresh air. So take those occasional breaks. So riding on shopping centers, you have to be very careful. So the first thing you have to learn is to ride slow, as we discussed earlier, and also be very careful. Apart from watu kucross, you find in this section ni wanyama wana cross, so you have to be very careful, and especially places like Naivasha, punda zinapita, so be very careful. His section tumejoin off-road, and as you can see, I'm riding in an upright position. It's the most comfortable position to ride, because it plants your foot to the foot pegs and therefore in a lower center of gravity yako, so you can be able even to maneuver your bike very fast. The best riding position is when you are riding ukiwa umesimama. Also be careful of wildlife. In this section you see zebras on right, so in such instances I normally make a stop because I'm also a professional photographer, so I need to capture a few shots here and there. So I have also to respect wild animals. The reason they are called wild is because they can be wild. So in this section I'm riding on sand. The skill here is to ride as fast as possible, because if you slow down the bike falls. For beautiful sceneries along the way, slow down maze, soak to the environment and enjoy what you are viewing around. Now we are approaching a shopping center, and one of the things I do is looking for key things. Where the mechanics are based. I'm also scanning where are the petrol stations. In case of my bike stalls, where the guys who like tow, where are they located? So I'm also making sure like ninajua environment yenye niko. Are there hardwares where I can buy maybe a rope in case I want to be towed? So such decisions niki approach shopping center, I'm always looking around. South Lake Road. Most camping places ziko hii route, like Kongoni, Oloiten, Camp Malta. So if you are a fan of camping, this is the place you should be visiting soon. Now tumejoin Maimahio Road. Hii barabara remember ilitengenezwa purposely for heavy trucks. So in this road you have to be very careful when you are doing overtakings. You have to calculate the distance for the oncoming cars. You also have to calculate your bike torque and know how fast can it overtake. So if it's not safe, do not overtake. When you're overtaking long vehicles, you have to know which position ya overtake. So you'll find I'm always going to the far edge, almost to the line ya white huko mwisho, because long vehicles they create a certain vacuum while they are moving. So the moment umeingia kwa hiyo vacuum, and especially with the smaller cc bike, inakuanganika imebrekiwa. So you have to be very careful isikurushe katikati ya miguu or you crash. So always I prefer overtaking nikiwa on the far edge ya long vehicles. You also need to be aware of what we call crosswinds. This section is very prone to crosswinds, and what happens is unasikianga bike inapushwa na upepo from the side, so you have to know how to maneuver your bike and make sure like isikutoe kwa barabara. So the secret is, instead of maintaining pale kwa lane katikati, I normally come to the center line, because nikipushwa na upepo utafind now ndio time yenye una maintainia pale kwa line ya hapo kwa nini katikati ya barabara. So always maintain hapo, focus on the katikati, and then upepo ikikupush unaenda sasa pali position, the right position you are supposed to be. As you can also see, the overtaking I'm doing on the far end. So riding at night, it's a whole different ball game, but the secret is one, be visible at all times. Make sure unaonekana, and also kama ni barabara yenye haujui, slow down and be alert of the environment you are riding, ndio ujue which decisions to make. Thank you guys for watching this video. I wish I can share more, but I'll be doing more videos covering this topic because it's so dear to me. And also you can follow on my other social media platforms, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and learn more because I'll be sharing.